very brief here because we are about to hop into this draft in 1 second. But before we get into it, I need, of course, thank you for being a member of the flock. Super excited to just spend the entire offseason talking Dynasty Fantasy Football. And I want to remind you, yes, we make redraft videos every single day during the season. But my bread and butter, what I enjoy most, is Dynasty Fantasy Football. This is the Dynasty channel. You are only going to find Dynasty content here. So please subscribe if you play Dynasty Fantasy Football. But if you are just a casual redraft player, I'm sorry, this isn't going to be for you. I think that should be about it. If you want to check out any of these player props, of course, you can find the link to Underdog Fantasy in the live chat, in the description, in the comment section. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100 when you use promo code FLOCK. And you know we drafted over 700 underdog teams on the live stream this year, so you can hop into some drafts with us or in the public lobby, whatever you want. But I think that should be it. We've spent way too long on this intro. Let's go ahead and let's start this draft. I apologize for everybody who's been waiting for us. So we are going to be in a spot where I think we have a ton we can do. At pick 6, I like it because we're in the middle of the draft. I don't have to sit here and wait to make our selection for an extremely long time. Like, we should be good. And on top of it, I think that we are going to be in a very comfortable position if you're looking at the players that are going to be available to us at 6 itself. We are either going to be getting an elite level quarterback, which in a Superflex format, of course, that's the ideal way to start your draft in the first round, or we are going to be getting the elite tier of wide receivers. We're going to be looking at someone like a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. So really, we're just going to wait to see what we get. And we end up getting Jamar Chase. I'm not going to be able to put Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson in that elite tier at this point. I think it's easy to take Chase instead. So feel very comfortable with that draft pick. I don't think we have to think too much about this. And Jalen Hurts goes directly after us. Let me know what you think. If you wanted to make the argument, Mason, you have to go ahead. You have to take Jalen Hurts at the 106. I understand why you would, and I'm not going to argue against it. Personally, I am still going to be going with Jamar Chase. Jalen Hurts has been phenomenal so far this season. But if you look at Chase through the first 2 years of his NFL career, I think the floor and ceiling combo is so damn high. And yet, Piano said he would have rather taken Jalen Hurts over Jamar Chase as well. I think it's kind of going to depend on some of the quarterbacks that we can get later on. But let me remind everybody, we are drafting with kickers here. So if you want to take a rookie pick, if you want the 101, you want Bijan Robinson, you take the first kicker off the board. If you want the second rookie pick, you take the second kicker off the board, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it does give us a good idea of how to value these rookie picks as well. And now we have Lawrence going at 110. Obviously, Lawrence is a player that you would have loved to have on the way back around in the second round, but just unrealistic with how good he's been over the past 6 weeks to assume that you had any shot or we had any chance to get Trevor Lawrence in the second at 207. Now we have the first rookie off the board at the 101. At the 111, you have the 101 going. Hell, Saquon Barkley, his rookie season was going significantly higher than this. I think the Dynasty Fantasy Football community, historically speaking, has been very good at evaluating specifically the running back position. As of now, it looks like Bijan Robinson is the 101. I think he is a safe pick at the 1-2 turn there. I definitely would have taken him in the second round if we could have had him. And JN in here, Nash Talks Texas, takes A.J. Brown. My man, I hate it. I hate you taking A.J. Brown at the 108. Are you kidding me? You're taking him over your guy? You're taking him over Bijan? What are we doing here? And yes, everybody, kickers are rookie draft picks. I know we're going to have a million people in the live chat through the course of this live stream not understanding that. So if you can tell them whenever they ask, it would. Lighten the load on my end. But Mikhail coming out says, planning to start a Dynasty League, when should the draft be? I'd say right after the offseason. Just make sure that you aren't drafting the actual rookies in your startup. Instead, draft those rookie picks exactly how we're doing it now. That way you still have the rookie draft to look forward to in May, and it's a ton of fun. Waddle going at the 204. You know, we would have been taking Jalen Waddle if he would have made it to us at the 207. So we're going to have to sit here and reevaluate. Y'all know we are bragging of how easy our selection was at pick 6. Now it's going to get significantly more difficult. I have my eye on one player and one player in particular. I don't know if we're going to end up getting him. So we need to go through and we need to come up with a backup plan. Keep in mind, Sleeper's ADP here is very, very bad. When you're drafting on underdog, like it's super easy. Just look at the first 5 names. Go, okay, which player to the first 5 do I want? Here we're actually going to have to dig a little deeper. So I think at this point, it's going to come down between 2 rookie running backs for us. It's going to be either Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker. Considering the fact that this is after the season, we are just looking for 2023 and beyond. And also, Breece Hall is the thumbnail of this live stream. We will go ahead. We'll take Breece Hall here at the 207. I mean, we had Breece Hall ranked alongside the true elite level running back prospects. In our prospect model, he looked like an Ezekiel Elliott, Jonathan Taylor level prospect coming into the NFL. Checked every single box that we looked for. Not only checked that box, but excelled in every category. Looked phenomenal. Looked like the running back that you needed to win your league before his injury this season. Super excited to see what we have when he does come back next year. Okay. Now we have Dak going off the board here at the 208. Will, oh dear God, are you freaking kidding me? If Will is on auto the rest of the way, I am going to be so freaking pissed. We may end up having to draft for him. Now, Will switched it off. Y'all don't know Will's been a long, long time member of the vlog. Happy that he is back here. Okay. Now, yeah, we have the Saturn Gamer says Sleeper's still trying to hype Najee Harris. Yeah, just that I don't know how Sleeper does their ADP. They need to literally do exactly what Underdog does with Underdog's ADP. I don't know how frequently Underdog updates it, but I mean, I know 99% of us draft on Underdog. So I think we kind of all know when you're on Underdog, the first 5, 6, 7 names are really the only names worth looking at because that Underdog ADP is so damn sharp, is so good, constantly updated. Over here, you got freaking Najee Harris at the top of the list. Like, what the hell are we doing? Okay. Now, Swift goes at the 212. So I guess I didn't set up the 3rd round reversal with this draft. Honestly, don't really care too much one way or another. We're drafting at the 306 or 307. Doesn't matter for us. We're drafting in the middle. So you have Swift and ETN here on the turn. ETN would have been a running back that we would have taken if you would have made it to us at the 306. So let's go ahead and let's start looking for some individual names. Now, there are a few names I have in the back of my mind. There's one name in particular that I'd be very excited if we get. But by no means is it a guarantee. Yeah. We're going to see. Okay, so that's the rookie pick 103. So if we were to take a kicker here, we'd be getting the rookie pick 104. 104 could still end up being CJ Stroud, Jahmyr Gibbs. You don't really know at this point. Stephon Diggs off the board here. I think I know where we're going. I'm excited about it too. Let's see what Bingle does. Bingle's gone Jefferson, Dak through the first 2 rounds to start his team off. Oh my gosh, sniped. Oh my gosh, he took our guy. He took Garrett Wilson from us. Let's see if we can recover from that. Let's see if we can find a backup option here. I really had my heart set on Garrett Wilson. Do we just end up going Tua? I know Tua hasn't been that great, but we kind of need a quarterback. Oh, dear God. I thought we were going to get him. No, we're not going to go Tua. Instead, we'll take the rookie pick 104. Like I said, that 104 could end up being Bryce Young, could end up being CJ Stroud, could end up being Jahmyr Gibbs. At this point, you really don't know. We're going to have to see what official numbers we get from the NFL Combine. Combine that with what we get with the landing spots. Oh my gosh. We were this close to going with Garrett Wilson in the 3rd. That would have been so damn good. I know a lot of people are going to make an argument to go with Tua over the 104, and I completely understand your argument, but at this point of the offseason, we've talked about this time and time again, when we are pretty much guaranteed, now I repeat, guaranteed to have those rookie picks continue to climb in value. Hell, when in doubt, you go with the rookie pick. When in doubt, you go with the pick. It's very difficult for them to lose value. And I mean, I'll tell you right now, we played Dynasty since 2014. We've been making Dynasty videos since the end of 2018. I have a very good feel on the Dynasty fantasy football. marketplace. And in that marketplace, rookies increase their value through the course of the offseason. Interesting to see Saquon Barkley making it to the 4th round here. I mean, with Saquon Barkley, he's going after the rookie pick 105. So it's essentially saying that Barkley's worth the 105, 106, right in that range. Now, Chris Olave at the 310. If Olave would have made it back to us in the middle of the 4th, we definitely would have gone with Olave. Just Olave's right there as well. Like, I think you can make an argument, oh, do we want Olave? Do we want the 104? When in doubt, you go with the rookie pick. When in doubt, you go with the rookie pick. It's just so hard to pass up on an asset that's going to guarantee an increase in value. Okay, Metcalf at the 404. Metcalf was the next player that we were looking to take. Now, that is, I believe, the 6th rookie pick. Okay, so we just had a run on pretty much every player / pick that we would have taken. So we are in full-blown panic mode, trying to come up with anything that we can here. Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not good. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Now we are going to have people coming in halfway through this live stream. We're just opening up this video and skimming to the very end and thinking that I voluntarily chose to add Najee Harris to our roster at the 407. I would never do this in a million years. I would have gone Kupp, Javonte, Mixon, Debo, rookie pick, Hawkinson. I would have gone with Stevenson. I would have gone with so many different players over Najee Harris here. We got caught off guard with the 3 players we wanted going in a span of, I believe, what? 10 seconds, not even 9 seconds. Embarrassing. Dear God. Dear God. That was horrible. I was just going back and forth, everything in my mind. Okay, do we go Javonte? Do we go with the rookie pick? Do we go win now with Cooper Kupp? Thinking about how Kupp fit in our roster with our construction and got autoed. Okay, so we are now going to be scrambling to go through and fix this team, which is probably unsavable now that we have Najee Harris on our roster over Javonte Williams. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing we can do about it at this point. Let's go through and let's continue chugging along, and we can have at the comment section making fun of us later on. But dear God. This is why we do mock drafts. Someone in the chat saying we're a little rusty. Yes, we are a little rusty. So we can knock this rust off. That way, when we get in some real Dynasty startups this offseason, we are not going to have this issue. We'll be in a much, much better spot. Cam Akers at the 502 is very intriguing here. I mean, I understand Akers still incredibly young. He was actually the youngest running back in the 2020 draft class out of Florida State. Checked a lot of the boxes that you were looking for. Probably a better option than Najee Harris, but I don't know if we're going to be going with Cam Akers at the 502. So let's go ahead and let's try to figure out where we're going now. So Hawkinson goes to the 505. Literally, when we were on the clock, that is the name I was looking at. I was looking at Hawkinson going, is it too much to take TJ Hawkinson here? Or should we go ahead? Should we take the rookie pick, see if Hawkinson makes it back to us? We are going to end up going Cooper Kupp at the 506. I know that there are a lot of things happening in Los Angeles. You have rumors, oh, Sean McVay's going to retire. Oh, Matthew Stafford's going to retire. Blah, 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 blah. With Cooper Kupp, he's actually an incredibly old wide receiver for being drafted in 2017. He stayed 5 years at a tiny school, so compared to wide receivers that come into the NFL at 20 years old, He is a wide receiver that is just significantly older than you would assume, coming off a significant injury. I mean, I think Kupp maybe could have come back at the end of this season if the Los Angeles Rams had any playoff hopes, but clearly they don't. We'll take him at the 506. I think it's going to be fine value. If we could have gone back, if we could have taken maybe Hawkinson instead of Najee Harris in the 4th, I'd have been feeling very comfortable about this team. Very comfortable. Okay. And if you are just now joining this live stream, let me reiterate. We got auto-picked Najee Harris. We got auto-picked. Now, Joe makes it off the board at the 509, and Jayan taking another rookie pick here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks. So Jayan has the 102, the 105, and the 106, combined with A.J. Brown, Drake London. Hell, I like it. I would just say if you're going to go this high on rookies, you can't be taking A.J. Brown there at pick 8. You got to be going ahead. You got to be taking the 101 at pick 8, at least in my mind. Okay. But now we have some more rookie running backs off the board here at the end of the 5th, beginning of the 6th. You have the combo of Dameon Pierce, Rachaad White going. Cousins goes 603. Interesting. Obviously, we still don't have a quarterback yet. I mean, maybe that 104 pick we decided to take there in the middle of the 3rd ends up being Bryce Young, ends up being C.J. Stroud. We just don't know yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start preparing ahead of time. Let's not get auto-picked again. Okay. I have my plan A. Let's see if we need a plan B. Well, we definitely need a plan B based off what happened last time. Okay, we got our plan B. We just need a plan C. Actually, we don't even need a plan C now. There are only 2 players left. Jacobs was our plan A. Good Josh Jacobs pick. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to pivot over, and we are going to be going with Christian Watson, the wide receiver 1 for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I mean, going after Aaron Rodgers here by JN. I mean, with Christian Watson. I liked him as a prospect. He dominated his production at a small school. I mean, 2 small school wide receivers here with Kupp and Christian Watson with ridiculous market share numbers. Both older prospects coming into the NFL. Obviously, I'm not saying Christian Watson's going to be Cooper Kupp going forward, but I do like the value we're getting on him. Okay. Noah says he got Cam Akers in the 11th round of a startup last week. Oh my gosh, that is awesome, my man. That is awesome. Okay, so after we go Christian Watson, you have Pittman, DJ Moore. I believe this was the 109, so we have Christian Watson and the 109 going back to back. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so let me know in the live chat right now. What would you rather have? Would you rather have the 9th rookie pick in a Superflex league in this season or Christian Watson? You'd probably want the 9th rookie pick in the 2023 draft. I think it's close. It is marginal. I still like our draft outside of the Najee Harris auto pick. Okay. Now we got Derek Carr here at pick 612. Absolutely hate the Derek Carr selection. I don't think there's a pick that I hate more than this. Even if Derek Carr has a starting job next year, hell, can you start him in fantasy? Probably not. I would say this is a quarterback that has an extremely cap ceiling. I would say that this is a quarterback that at the end of the day has no rushing upside. I don't see why we're taking Derek Carr here at the end of the 6th. Okay. That's assuming he has a starting job next year, which we have no idea. Okay, so, I mean, I'd rather have Stafford, Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, a first-round rookie pick. Okay, we got some old veteran running backs. Okay, so if we take a rookie pick, we're taking the rookie pick 10. Okay. So I have a plan A, plan B. We're not getting auto-picked again. I got plan B and, plan B underway if this doesn't work out. Okay, so rookie pick goes. We're going to go ahead. We're going to be taking Nick Chubb. Hell, I mean, y'all know we were not a massive Nick Chubb fan in Dynasty with where he's going in startups 2 years ago, but, big but here. Hell, we're getting him after the rookie pick 110. Kareem Hunt's not under contract next season. Kareem Hunt could possibly be moved. I really like Nick Chubb here in the middle of the 7th. Very interesting team we built. Of course, ignore the Najee Harris pick in the 4th. I think maybe if we would have gone Javonte instead of getting auto pick Najee, this team would be looking real good. Calvin Ridley goes in the middle of the 7th. So Ridley was going to be a player that we had our eye on a little later on, maybe in the 9th, 10th round, or honestly, maybe even the 8th, depending on how it fell. But I don't know if we can't be taking Calvin Ridley over Nick Chubb. I mean, both in the same draft class, both older than most 2018 players. Still, it is what it is. Dalvin Cook off the board here at the 709. So if you're looking at Dalvin versus Nick Chubb actually came into the NFL 2018. Dalvin Cook came into the NFL in 2017. But because the serious knee injury Nick Chubb suffered at Georgia, it's one of the very few running backs that actually had to stay all 4 years in college. So he's actually the same age as those other guys like Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, CMC that came in 2017, but they only stayed 3 years in college. So even if Nick Chubb's been in the NFL for a year less, he's still the same age as those other guys. Okay, so now McLaurin goes off the board at the end of the 7th. Bateman goes off at the end of the 7th as well. Wasn't a big Bateman guy last year. Not going to be a big Bateman guy this year. Okay. So we got Plan A underway. Let's start racking up Plan B. So if we were to take a rookie pick, I think we're on rookie pick 12 at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I think there have been 10 rookie picks selected. So I think we're on rookie pick 11 if we were to go with one. So our plan A, Matthew Stafford off the board, no longer going to be able to go in that direction. Stafford would have been a player that I would have really liked to discount on, especially if we could have stacked him up with Cooper Kupp. So plan A out the window. Let's go ahead and let's try to find a plan B. Okay, Dylan. Dylan was someone that we saw earlier on. I would say plan B probably out the window. Okay, I got a plan C and a plan D lined up here. And an E and an F. Oh, dear God. We got a lot of players we can look at. So DeAndre Hopkins off the board at the 806. So sitting here thinking about this a decent amount, there are a few names that I really would like, but I'm going to go with someone that I think probably wouldn't make it back to us. And I'm going to be a little realistic. Oh, I don't. This is the mock draft from hell. Oh my gosh. It is what it is. I shouldn't have been trying to go through and have some monologue about our draft pick. We should have just made our pick and then talked about it right after. Oh dear God. I'm sitting here acting like I'm a freaking evil mastermind in a movie, telling you my entire plan as there's no reason for it, and I should just freaking do it. Oh my gosh. Just absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm not going to be telling y'all my evil mastermind plan before our picks anymore. We're just going to go ahead and we're just going to make them. We don't need to be overthinking this. Isaiah Pacheco, the 811. Okay, so if we were looking at all those names that we wanted, the only player that I was wanting to take there in the 8th that is off the board at this point was Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's been the only guy who's gone. Wasn't really interested in Deontay. Wasn't really interested in Isaiah Pacheco. So it is what it is. Oh, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. It wasn't interested in Juju. Wasn't interested in Tony. I'm sorry, Kadarius Toney. Tony Pollard was our plan A. When I was going through giving you my master plan, Tony Pollard was going to be the guy that we would have taken to the middle of the 8th. It is what it is. That's my fault. I am happy that Garrett was able to come away with the value. Oh, dear God. Yeah. But hell, our evil plans D, E, and F are still in line. So let's go ahead and let's try to remember what those are, and let's, for the love of God, not get timed out. Okay. We got him queued up. We got him queued up. Even if we go on auto, we're good. We're not getting Aaron Jones here. Okay. Okay. James Cook was the guy we queued up. I don't know if people, I don't know if we were able to show that on the live stream. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert was our backup plan here in the middle of the ninth. I think Dallas Goedert is a player that I'd rather have over an early second round rookie pick. I think it's a good gauge to have. I mean, with Goddard, he's been pretty much better than Andrews, right in line with Hawkinson. Been very good. If we're looking at this season, first entire year that he's been able to play with no Zach Ertz. So, I mean, I like Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert was someone that we were considering taking the 8th. Happy that we were able to get him on the way back around in the 9th. Colin says, how would you feel if Derek Carr ended up on the Jets next season? I'm not a Derek Carr fan, but I would say Derek Carr is most likely, of course, I don't know this for sure, but I would say he is most likely better than Mike White. Definitely better than Zach Wilson. So with Carr, he's still not going to be someone that I would love in fantasy just because he has absolutely no rushing upside whatsoever. But if we're looking at what it would mean for someone like Garrett Wilson, I'd like it. I mean, it's hard to get much worse than what you've had with Zach. Now, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, Malik Willis off the board. Honestly, none of those players are going to be guys I was too excited to draft. Let's go ahead and let's scroll way down this ADP list because I already know there are going to be some hidden gems here with how bad this ADP is. Not saying we'd take him, but it is funny seeing Lockett this low. Okay. We got a plan A, ladies and gentlemen. We got a plan A here. Alec Pierce goes. That was not our plan A. Honestly, we don't have a backup plan, so hopefully our guy doesn't get stolen. So Steve at receiver has Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyreek, Godwin, Hopkins, Amari. So I'm assuming you're going with a more so win now type build, especially if you have Jacobs on the team. Assuming Jacobs probably gets it with the franchise tag. He goes James Conner. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a quarterback. We're going to go Daniel Jones. No idea if Daniel Jones will be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants next season. What I do know with Daniel Jones is, hell, their wide receiver position can only get better from where it was this year. And on top of it, he has some rushing upside. Sprinkle in the fact that, hell, the coaching staff looks pretty damn good. I think we'll be fine taking Daniel Jones at the 10.07. Not in love with it. Don't hate it. But, I mean, if he gets some wide receiver improvements and he has rushing upside, I like it. Okay. Now, Tommy says, let's get a grade in for my first 10 picks. This is my first time dabbling in anything Dynasty related. I drafted a team, but I know it isn't competing till year 2 or 3. But what do you think of the selections? I'd say big thing is in Dynasty, my friend, if you haven't joined a Dynasty League before, pretty much in January, the only thing we should be thinking about is value, value, value. Like, don't be thinking, okay, I'm not going to be able to compete year 2 or 3. Because in Dynasty Fantasy Football, you're going to be making so many trades. Your team's going to look completely different anyway. But so we're looking at Lamb, Fields at the 1-2 turn. You know, I am not a Fields guy. I like the Lamb selection. You know, I'm not the biggest Justin Fields fan in the world. I know people hate me for it, but I probably would have gone Taylor, probably would have gone Waddle, probably would have gone the 102 over Justin Fields. And then we have the 105 off here at the end of the third and Jameson Williams. Personally, I think that maybe we're going a little bit too youth-centric. I think we would have gone ahead and we maybe would have taken DK Metcalf definitely over Jameson at least. Damian Pierce, Rashad White at the 5-6 turn. If we're going to be looking at options we could go to elsewhere, I think it's almost up to you. I just think some of the running back value you could have had later on is very appealing. Terry McLaurin, Sky Moore. Really don't like the selection of Sky Moore at the 801. If we're looking at rookie wide receivers taking the jump to year 2, we really need to see something or at least anything from them in their first season. I think there are a few different wide receivers that I would have preferred here over Sky Moore. Tyler Algier, I do like the Tyler Algier selection. Depending on what your assumption is with the job security of Algier next year with Cordell Patterson being 31. Yeah, so I'd say my main gripes with the team are Jameson Williams over DK Metcalf, Sky Moore really in that range whatsoever. And while I said something negative about Justin Fields, keep in mind everybody else would love your Justin Fields pick. It's just going to be a me thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's scramble and try to figure out something. We've been looking at another team instead of the player pool. Not good for us. But honestly, I don't think it matters. I think we're probably on the rookie pick 202 or so. And I'd rather have an early second-round rookie pick, especially when we're just thinking about value at this point of the offseason, over pretty much any of these veterans here. So we're going to go with the 202, 203, whatever the hell this is. I mean, and there's not a big difference between those two picks. Maybe when the tiers get more solidified and we get closer to May, there will be, but not for now. Okay. Now, Jimmy G going off the board in the middle of the 11th to JN. Interesting. I wonder where Purdy goes. Has Brock Purdy already gone? Nope. You have Jordan Love off the board, but no Brock Purdy. I'm not saying you should go. I'm not saying you should. I'm just interested. Guess another rookie pick. David Njoku at the end of the 11th. Like the David Njoku selection. I would probably prefer Njoku over Dawson Knox. But let's go ahead and let's see. What can we do now? I mean, here at the very end of the draft, this is just when the ADP gets so bad. My favorite player in the world still available in Cortland Sutton. Ooh. My second favorite player in the world, Darnell Mooney. My third favorite player in the world, in Allen Robinson. Michael Thomas is actually someone we like drafting this year, which obviously is embarrassing. I like drafting David Bell this year as well until David Bell showed us that he is absolutely nothing and Deshaun Watson is not as good as we thought he was going to be. Hopefully he's better next year. I think we have plan A, plan B, and plan C under wraps. Romeo Doubs goes. Love it, Tommy. I mean, Romeo Doubs was going to be in the mix here for us if he would have made it back to us in the middle of the 12th, especially if we have Christian Watson in the middle of the 6th. I mean, if you're going to be looking at Allen Lazard, Lazard's not guaranteed a contract next season, so I do really like the Romeo Doubs selection. Okay, so Wandale goes in the middle, the beginning of the 12th. Okay. Let's look at the entire draft board real quick. I think rookie picks from this point forward, rookie pick 15 is what we're up on. 15, 16, something in that range. So we're either looking at like the 204 or the 203 in terms of rookie picks. Probably closer to the 204, 205. There's a good chance I missed one. Noah Fant goes. See what Steve decides to do. Goes with the rookie. When in doubt, I think this is the 205. Let's take the 205. If I was offered in a real league, Leonard Fournette for the 205, this point of the year, when we know these rookie picks are going to continue to... Khalil Herbert was the pick. A great pick with Khalil Herbert. Phenomenal selection at the 1208. David Montgomery not under contract in Chicago next season. Not going to be surprised at all if they don't feel the need to bring David Montgomery back in under the franchise tag if they can't get a long-term deal. Phenomenal pick with Khalil Herbert there. I'm very jealous about that selection. Now we have another rookie pick off. Jaden says, the thought process is draft a quarterback at 2 and then a running back wide receiver duo at 6 and 7. I'd say if you have rookie picks at this time of the year, I know this is what everybody does, goes, okay, I need a quarterback, I need a blah, blah, blah. Your goal with those picks is you sit on them, you see where their value goes, you see how the draft board falls, and you probably move them. Or I just think investing into rookie picks at this point right now, when we know that their value is only going to increase up until the point of your Dynasty rookie draft. And I know people are going to say, oh no, the rookie class isn't as good as we thought it was going to be. No, these picks are actually going to lose value. It doesn't matter. I mean, we've seen the 2016 draft with Laquan Treadwell, Jahan Dotson. I'm sorry, not Jahan Dotson. Oh dear God, Josh Doctson. It doesn't matter how bad the class is. Those picks will increase in value. And oh, dear God, we are on the clock. Did we just take Gibson, a running back, on his rookie deal still? Yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take Antonio Gibson there. I mean, I don't hate it by any means. Don't love it. Still under his rookie contract. He's going next to guys like John Mechie. I mean, maybe you just kind of view him as a premium handcuff RB where Brian Robinson goes down. He is viable. And I know a lot of people are going to be excited that Alexander Mattison doesn't have a contract next season in Minnesota. I will warn, be careful thinking the grass is just guaranteed to be greener on the other side with Alexander Mattison. I would say he's in a very good spot. I would say he's in a very good situation in Minnesota where it's black and white. If you have him on your roster, it's the easiest decision in the world. If, and I repeat, Dalvin Cook plays, you can't start Alexander Mattison. You don't even consider it. But if Dalvin Cook misses, you have a top 5 running back guaranteed. Like, let's not fool ourselves. I don't think this situation is going to get much better than what it's been over the past few years with Alexander Mattison. I think having, pretty much a stretch of 4 games or so every season for the past 3, where you're top 5 running backs, pretty damn good situation. I mean, I kind of want Alexander Mattison, if I own him, to just go back to Minnesota, play behind Dalvin Cook, and have that guaranteed 3-down workhorse role if Dalvin Cook were to go down. Now, Albert O going off the board here at the end of the 13th. Say at this point, there's no hope for Albert O. I mean, I'd rather have some of the veteran tight ends. I'd rather have Higbee. I'd rather have Evan Ingram. Especially going back to the research that we did for the video that came out yesterday regarding how those younger tight ends that are just prospects essentially never gain value or gain value at a very low clip, and we know they don't produce. So really the only reason you draft them is for them to gain value. Okay. So let's go down, 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 down. Not saying we're going to. Okay. Quebec does it instead. I was just going to say, at what point would we draft Zach Wilson? Like I said, wasn't saying we were going to, but it was worth the thought. At what point would we pull the trigger? Okay. Rondale Moore off the board in the middle of the 14th. I really like that pick from JN to go ahead and take Rondale Moore. Obviously, a very small player, though, that has dealt with a significant amount of injuries so far. Now, let's see what Steve decides to do. I think I'm not a Baker fan. I'm not. I think the sentiment that he is going to end up being, possibly the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams is foolish. I think there's no way. But hell, maybe he can bounce team to team. Maybe he can. Now, this is the draft board. Let me know what you think. Of course, Najee Harris was an auto pick in the 4th. Don't be screaming at me because that Najee Harris pick in the 4th round. But thank you again. I truly do appreciate you. If you have not done so already, go down there, drop a like on the live stream. We're going to try to get you as much Dynasty content as I possibly can. And if you want to check out any of these player props, you can always find the link to Underdog Fantasy in the live chat in the description. Promo code FLOCK. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar at $200. And it's available in damn near every state. But I think that's about it. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great day and hope we get to see you with a Dynasty video tomorrow.